So I made my life a movie and then made $10,000 in 30 days. As you can see here in my payment processor Stripe in the month of April, you can see here I collected $12,000. And again, the series for doing this is all documented public on my YouTube. As you can see here, on any given video, I was getting somewhere between 100, 200, 150, even 78 on some of the videos here. So you might be asking yourself how to actually do this. And the first I'm going to be breaking down to actually implement and get this all done for yourself is why it works, the niche that you're going to have, the skill that you're going to be selling, the frequency, and the monetization. The online education industry. Now we've seen guys like Iman, Alex Hormozi, and many other guys popping up and making a lot of money doing so. The online education industry is set to double within the next 5 years and actually grow to being a $300 billion industry, and something that quite frankly has the ability to completely dethrone colleges. And what it actually means by online education is just selling things online. And the best way to sell things online is off of a social media. People no longer buy from these big brands like a big Facebook or a big Instagram or a big Snapchat. That no longer appeals to people. What they actually want to do is go to the people on said platforms and pay those people. So again, what you actually want to do here in the process of why this actually works is becoming one of these stars, one of these figures, and then as a result of that, having something that you monetize off the back of it here in order to actually go ahead and create money. And the best part about doing this entire thing is you do not need to be one of those massive influencers to actually have this work for you. You can, again, have a very small audience where you speak about a very specific thing, just like I did on my channel here, where as you can see, again, I do not get many views at all. And then as a result of that, target the very few people that apply to a very small demographic in a certain market, and as a result convert them and get paid. Because pretty much the way that resonation works, which is just how much somebody likes you or is willing to pay for you, is in direct correlation to how specific something is in direct correlation to how much they're going to feel liked by it. Imagine right now I was able to guess your first name and address this video completely being to you. You'd probably think, oh, well, that's very, very specific to me. So then as a result, I should probably listen. We all love things that are personalized to us. So as a result, in direct correlation to how far down we can get, the better we're going to actually have a chance of speaking with and making a very small group of people like us. Now, the first step towards doing this, and we actually want to dive all the way back here, is going to be understanding that this is the niche that we actually have. And fundamentally, there are three overall niches. We have the idea of health, we have the idea of wealth, and then we have the idea of relationships. And every product ever that you will see falls under one of these three core categories. Now, within these core categories, there are subcategories. In the make money and wealth space, we have online income, so I'll represent that with an O here, or we have in-person income. Now, under the section of in-person income, we have a whole bunch of offshoots here. Under the sections of online, well, we have specifically ones that talk about real estate, we have trading, we have drop shipping, we have SMMA, we have all of these different categories that fall under different brackets of wealth. And what we want to do is we pretty much want to visually diagram some experiences in our life to figure out what branch we can get to where we become completely unique. So for example, when I actually launched my first ever product that I sold online, I was talking specifically about SMMA, and you had people that were talking to the super rich and sophisticated people here. I'll just represent them with a dollar sign. You had people that were talking to kind of like this mid-level market of people that kind of had a little bit of experience already. They were like a medium experience. Then you had people that were talking to like the low experience and people that were trying to even just start making money online. Like Iman was one of those very big people. So we had the very beginner audience here. And then what we actually decided to do, and when I say we, I mean myself, my business partner, which you can see all the way back on my YouTube channel, is we decided to carve out a completely new niche all the way over here, which specifically was for teenagers trying to get their first client. So teenagers trying to get their first client. And that's how we started our business, by, again, carving out a completely unique niche, which meant that when we spoke about it, everything we said, because again, the scale of the resonation that we actually had all the way over here, we were directly specific down. Nobody, again, was specifically talking to teenagers trying to learn how to run their agencies. So as a result, we did super well with them here. Now, showing you exactly how I did this with my live daily vlog series is I decided, all right, I'm going to restart my $2 million a year business, and I want to document the process of me actually rebuilding it. And what I was teaching people how to do and what I was actually selling off the back of that, the product that I had was around content creation. So as an offshoot of, again, having a little bit more of a wealth product. So let's go here, a wealth product. Within that, as an alternative to SMMA and all the other things, I pretty much had the alternative of building a personal brand. And what that meant is that instead of having a done for you service and talking to these like super sophisticated people, I just want to talk to people like me who maybe come from another business and just want to get established and have some kind of online social media presence because of all the guys and all the stars that I showed you earlier in this video who are making the millions and millions of dollars doing this exact same thing. Now, in that specific niche, the service that I actually had to actually deliver to them was going to be the skill section over here, which was what I like to call done for you content creation. A lot of people think they can just sell some kind of like book here, or they can sell some form of info product or course. But when you're first starting, that's not going to work because people do not have enough trust with you where your information, again, is the same caliber of a star to go ahead and want to pay you immediately. So what I did is I made a done for you product, meaning that what I would do for these people is I would go ahead and I would post their YouTube videos. I'd help them build a brand. And in order to actually find clients for doing that, all I did was restart the process of me building a brand. And because I was documenting the process of me doing exactly what they wanted to do as well, it allowed me to actually show proof of everything that I was saying. And then as a result of that, actually go ahead and see success. So following this process, then we're going to move into the next phase, which is going to be the frequency of how to actually document your life and how I actually pulled this process off. As you can see here, these are live daily vlogs that I did. And in any given video, pretty much what I would do is I take a concept that I was speaking about for that day, and it didn't matter what time I was posting at or anything about how to optimize the video. I would share a little bit in the intro section here, and then I would immediately jump onto my computer and actually share what I was working on for the day. So whether that was my calendar for the day or whether that was the analytics that I actually had on my channel, as you can see here, I'm showing the entire process of how I actually built this live, walking through the entire thing in a super transparent way, which positions me as a relatable figure. And again, because I'm super far down on the resonation scale, it is going to allow me to speak with these people. And then for the done for you offering, when I say, hey, I've just done this myself and I've gotten these kind of results, I can do it for you as well. It allows somebody to actually go ahead and want to pay me. Now, again, for the frequency here, what I'd recommend is you want to post as much as possible. I'd recommend daily if you're going to be doing a YouTube video. And if you're going to be doing any other platforms like short form and all this stuff, I recommend doing multiple times per day, because what that's going to do is it's going to allow you to iterate and actually get better at the given skill you're talking about live in the process. And you also don't know how to make quality content when you first start. It's just general fact and rule. No matter how hard you try, your best video still might be the quality of Mr. Beast not even trying. So what's best to do is just forget about quality and focus on the quantity and improving a little bit with each rep that you actually do. And that's going to be the process for actually covering the frequency and seeing success there. Now, the final aspect for doing this is going to be the monetization. So you're posting frequently now, you have some form of niche or product or offshoot that you're actually speaking about. How can you actually take your life that you are now documenting and turn it into a skill that somebody's willing to pay for you? And I first off want to start by saying that we as humans usually have skills that we don't even know we have. And a great example of this is I specifically met a language coach who was not a language coach. He had never actually done teaching. He didn't even know he was good at teaching, but realized that he knew something that a lot of people didn't know, but also wanted to learn, which is that he came from another country and he learned how to speak English as a kid. And that was a desired result of a lot of other people. So again, with skills, you have to look at things that you do effortlessly that you might not even know that there's a market for. A great example of that is something like language, something so fundamental if you come from a third world country that you and actually other people want to learn. And whether that's the fact that you had to learn a language or that you speak a language that other people are trying to learn. I met a guy who spoke a very, very niche down language from a very small country and was making around $2,000 a month just by posting YouTube videos daily using the exact same process. Another example of something could be fitness. If you're in really good shape here, you're going to have a specific fitness journey and style that is specific to you. You might not be teaching people how to become bodybuilders, but just the relatability of your condition and the understanding of people's problems can allow you to resonate, and then as a result, see success in fitness. And then the next one is going to be something more career-based. So maybe you're really good at a given skill. Or again, a great example of this is there is a notorious info product that teaches people how to actually learn how to use their Excel sheets that has made well over $10 million, teaching people how to use Microsoft Excel and how to do all the tricks, shortcuts, selling PDFs and whatnot off the back of it. So there are so many skills that you don't even know you have that could actually be monetized. And the way that I'd explain the process for actually coming up with this is you have to look at the overall actual perceived value of what problem you were solving. So in some situations, and in direct correlation to where you are now, as you kind of document the process of you getting up, and this is the process of the documentary, these steps here, in direct correlation to the size of this gap is going to be the amount that you're able to actually charge off the back of whatever you are posting. So what that means is that somebody who's down here, who might be beginning their journey watching you, can go ahead and look up to you and say, oh, I get this desired result and I'm willing to pay this price point for it. Now, if you're selling Excel PDFs, that might not be a lot. That might only be $100. That might only be $500, $1,000. But again, as you begin to solve bigger problems and just continue documenting your life as you grow and grow and grow, the product that I sold for the Done For You YouTube, when I didn't know anything about content creation, I sold my first unit ever for $1,000. And now the pricing that I'm charging is over triple that. And that's on a monthly basis instead of just a one-time fee. And I, again, started off not even at $1,000. I started off selling this completely for free for people. So as I get better and better, the price is going to keep increasing. And then as a result, I'm going to get paid more because, again, this gap might be this large here when it's free, but now it's gotten much bigger as I begin to get better results. So that is the overall process of how I documented my life, made it a movie, and then made $10,000 in 30 days as a result. I hope that the value you got was worth the time that you spent. And if you comment down your skill below, I'd be happy to review, audit, and give you my perspective on how you can sell and make a lot of money.